Guys, if I'm going to be running any meta ad in 2026, this is what I am going to do differently. So the number one thing I'm going to do is that I am going to consolidate my ad account. I'm going to consolidate my campaigns. All right. Now, the old times of running like 15, 10 campaigns is gone. If you're going to be winning in 2026 with meta ad, you need to consolidate your campaign. If you're a small business, for example, there's no reason for you to be running multiple campaigns. Just run one campaign, all right? For example, you could make it, if it is like an e-commerce website, for example, you could make it a CBO campaign, and then Meta itself is going to distribute your campaign to different aspects or different products, whichever is given the most result. Meta will then begin to push that same product over and over to people so that you'll be able to get more and more result. Although I realize something, for example, if you have different products and you, of course, you want to sell, this different product, one thing you could also do is, even though you are creating one campaign, you can then, make that campaign, you can have different ad sets under that campaign. So, targeting certain product that you actually want to sell, but everything should be under the same campaign. Anytime you are running a campaign, even if you have it in one single campaign, what is going to happen is that Meta would use some of your angles, all right, some of your campaigns, they will use it as a top of the funnel. Some of them will use it as a middle of the funnel, and some of them as bottom of the funnel. So because the AI, knows your audience much more than you sometimes, okay? And that is why it is important that you consolidate your ad account, consolidate them into one campaign. Now, I usually tell people that Meta Andromeda, the new AI algorithm that powers Meta ads, it loves two things. One, it loves to eat a lot of food. And a lot of food, if you don't give it food, is going to really be angry with you. And the food that it wants, it what? Is data. So that is why you need to consolidate it. And the number two is that it doesn't want to be disturbed. It doesn't like wahala. It doesn't like problem. Okay. So that is why you don't need to be editing things every now and then. Just leave it for some time, at least 7 days. That's what I'm going to do. All right. And then once whatever result you learn from that, you can then, make amendments from that. Okay. So the first thing, like I said, in 2026 that I'm going to do is I'm going to consolidate my ad account as many as possible. At the moment, one of the things that we do for our clients is that we have a campaign where we say, creative testing. Now, this creative testing, I know so many people say that don't run creative testing, but I still run it. All right. So this creative testing, what it does is that we have different, ad set where we're testing different angles, different creative. And once they work, we graduate them to a scaling campaign where we then put bulk of the budget, to scale that campaign. Now, the second thing I'm going to be doing in 2026 is, if you have a catalog for Meta, all right, which some people call dynamic product ad, I would recommend that you start running campaigns to your catalog. Because to be honest with you, you see, when it comes to Meta ad, especially in 2026, Meta wants what we call creative diversity. And one of the easiest ways to get that creative diversity, apart from using AI, is to use catalog ads. All right. So make sure that you have different, pictures or thumbnails on your catalog, so that whenever the product catalog, product image, whenever people are seeing it, they'll be able to see the different aspects of this catalog. So try to run catalog ad. One of the things I also recommend to do, apart from just running catalog ad, try to have an overlay, over your catalog ad. When you see some ad, you see some overlays on them, even though you know that this is catalog ad, right? So I would encourage you to have that in 2026. Now, catalog ad, in my own opinion, they work best for retargeting. But in 2026, I am going to test more of catalog ad, even for broad targeting, all right, for the top of the funnel, and then reach out to them, but I would be running more catalog ads in 2026. Last but not the least is that I am going to be changing creative almost every week. Because like I told you, Meta ad wants a lot of data. And if you don't want creative fatigue, whereby somebody sees your ad, because in this age, people want to see different things almost every time. So when somebody sees your ad today and then they're seeing another ad tomorrow, even though it's different person, for example, speaking about your same product, they're going to love it. They're probably going to buy. For example, today I see your ad about weight loss. So maybe tomorrow I see a UGC, I see a video, user generated content, talking about how your product has helped them, to lose weight. And then the following day I see a testimonial, maybe an image, like static image. And then another day I see another ad that is now showing maybe like a review and then maybe a picture at the side. I mean, every single day, almost every day, I see different advert from you. I mean, when you refresh your creative, you are going to refresh your audience minds. Somebody should write that down. So it is important that you do these three things. Number one, I'm going to be consolidating my ad account, and I'm going to be running broad targeting. Of course, the days of running interest targeting, all this, the way you select interest, they are gone. All right. Number two, I am going to do more of dynamic product ads, or what we call catalog ad for some people. And then number three, which is the last but not the least, is I will do more of creative refresh. All right. At least every week, for example. So in 2026, what are you going to do differently when it comes to meta ads, that is Facebook or Instagram ad? These are the things I'm going to be doing differently. And if you have an e-commerce website and you want someone to be able to help you to grow that e-commerce business, speak to me, speak to us, and we're going to help you grow your e-commerce business. There is a framework that I use called Plant Framework that has helped a lot of clients to move from 5 to 6 to 6 to 7 figures, for revenue per annum. So if you are interested in working with us to be able to help you grow your e-commerce business, just use the link in my description to book a free discovery session. And if you have any question at all regarding what meta ad you should do that is going to help you to grow your business in 2026, drop it in the comment section and I'll be so happy to answer you.